Recently, the club has gotten into epic scale miniatures. So in this compact painting tutorial, I'll show you how I paint my epic scale miniatures. I'll be painting British Line Infantry from Warlord Games' epic scale Waterloo campaign. First, we want to prime our miniatures the main color which our miniature will have, or the color which is the hardest to paint. For our British line, I prime them black using Citadel primer, but any primer that bonds to plastic will do. This will save us time as the black will color the shakos, shoes, and cartridge boxes of our Brits. It will also add a nice dark undertone beneath our paint to make the miniature look more detailed. Once they have dried off, we'll move to the trousers. Here, I'll be using London Grey from Vallejo paints, being very careful not to hit the already primed shoes and cartridge boxes. Next is the famous British redcoat. Here I'm using Vallejo Red Vermilion. Any dull red will do. Be careful not to paint the trousers or the backpacks. Make sure to get in the crevices as well. Using some generic brown, I did a straight line on the front and back of the musket. Remember, depending on the type of wood, could change your type of brown. But for me, I like to do a lighter color with the black background. The primer, it makes it look much darker. Using any basic white, we are now going to get the accoutrement straps on the uniform, which hold their backpack and bedroll. Next is the gray bedrolls, on top of the packs, using the same London gray we did for the trousers. Pay special attention not to get in their hair or on the shackles. Now, with a steady hand, you can attempt to do the backpack straps in white. But as you can tell, it's difficult even for me. I ended up using a needle and a mechanical pencil just because they're so small. Next is perhaps the hardest part, the white lace on the front of their uniforms. Use a very small brush or fine pointed item to get these. If you do overspill, it will ruin the uniform. With that done, you can now do the haversacks on the left side of the miniature. You can either use white to represent nice and clean troops, or perhaps a dark canvas brown to represent them being dirty from a campaign or force march. Now, for our glinting bayonets, I'll use a quick brush of some oily steel from Vallejo. Just a quick brush up and down the bayonet, front and back will do. Now, time for the flesh. Using a basic skin tone, I hit the hands and the face. Not too much to cover detail, but not too little so as not to show the heavier black primer behind it. The British love their white flare on uniforms, so next, very carefully, hit the shackle strap in the front and the small white plume on top. Now time for even more Napoleonic flair. Next, using a metallic gold, I'll get the front shako plate. One of the most important steps of our process is our quality control. Hit areas that the primer missed. Here I'll be hitting areas that I messed up or areas that I completely forgot to paint. I'll be touching up the cartridge boxes and the shakos in black, as well as touching up the bed rolls in gray. Remember, this might be one of the last times you have to correct any mistakes you may have made before we base them and get them ready for battle. Finally, using a tan flesh shade, I'll get any bits of skin that I have painted to give them that dirty campaign look. Europeans may be pale, but after months of campaigning, they will not be so fresh and clean. And after basing them with grass, we are done. There we have it. I have painted these Brits to represent the 1st Yorkshire Regiment, otherwise known as the Duke of Wellington's Regiment. I hope this helps you in your painting journey. Remember that you can get even more detail than I did here, but these are good enough to hurry and get them on the table. Until next time, Generals, get to painting.